host, Darkwing Dub.
What is going on, everybody? I'm back. That call out shift had me going crazy. I'm tired. Happy to see y'all again. You know what I'm saying? We got something big happening right now in the sports world. You know what I'm saying? We got the NBA playoffs is in full effect. Yeah, we've been waiting long and hard for this, and they are here. But before we get into there, me, the man, the myth, the legend, this is no cap, right? No cap. I'm going to give y'all my predictions of the postseason awards. Yes, the postseason awards. So welcome to Darkwing's No Cap NBA postseason award show.
He's on fire.
We always on fire over here, baby. So, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. You know what that means? It's time to go, baby. So we're going to start this show off with the most improved players. You could go several different ways. I mean, look at what the Hawks did this year. Nobody saw that coming, especially after they traded Trae Young. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker stepped it up for them. Hey, there's only two the most improved teams in this season. The Detroit Pistons and the San Antonio Spurs, right? Jalen Duren was a big part of why the Pistons are where they are now. The number one seed in the NBA Eastern Conference, the number one seed. And it's between him and Cade Cunningham. Without him, the Pistons aren't where they are. And then, of course, I'll be honest with you, I can't pronounce his name, but I'm going to give it a shot. Neemias Queta. So he held down that center position, and he's still holding it down. But he held down that center position until Boston made that trade for Nikola Vucevic. And he's been good all year long for them, which is why he's part of the group of most improved players. So without further ado, my winner, Darkwing Dub's winner for most improved player goes to Jalen Duren. Absolutely, and it is well deserved, right? It's like I said earlier, the Pistons aren't where they are without this man. Between him and Cade Cunningham, where are the Pistons without him? Where are they without him? And he's been a bruiser. He's been a rebounding machine. He's a shot blocking machine. And he is a athletic monster. Like, holy crap, he's athletic. He reminds me of so much of Dwight Howard. He really does. Now, does he have the defense of Dwight Howard? No, I'm not saying that. But he can always get there, right? So give it up for Jalen Duren winning the most improved player. Absolutely. So we move on. We're moving on. We're moving on. The next award is going to be for Coach of the Year. Yes, the Coach of the Year. And we're going to start out with Joe Mazzulla. Are we always expecting the Celtics to be good? Yes, for the most part. Yes. As long as they have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, we're going to always expect Joe Mazzulla and the Boston Celtics to be good. But this year was supposed to be like a down year. It was supposed to be like a down year for them, right? Because Jason Tatum tore his Achilles last season. And he's came back at the end of the season. But it's almost like the Celtics didn't miss a step, didn't miss a beat. They finished second in the East. Second in the East. I don't know how many people actually saw that coming. I think most people saw the Cavaliers, the Knicks, maybe the 76ers. The 76ers didn't look all that well this year, but we got the Celtics coming in at the number 2 seed. And then right next to him, J.B. Bickerstaff coming in as the number 1 seed in the East. The Detroit Pistons, when they hired him after firing Monty Williams, come on, man. You talking about turning stuff around. The Detroit Pistons are Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Tobias Harris. You know, like this team has improved a lot. But between him and Cade Cunningham, who I thought should have been the front runner MVP until he had that collapsed lung, Cade Cunningham, and then you got Jalen Duren, who I picked to win Most Improved. I mean, how can you go wrong? It was set up perfectly for him. And then you got Mitch Johnson and San Antonio Spurs. This team continued to get better year after year, especially after drafting Victor Wembanyama. Then you draft Stephon Castle. You still have Devin Vassell. You trade for De'Aaron Fox. Harrison Barnes is there. It's like all you have to do is get the right coach in there after Popovich goes down with a stroke. Shout out to Greg Popovich. And you just get them going in the right direction. That's all you can hope for, right? They finished second in the West this season. Second. The team that finished ahead of them, the Thunder, the reigning champions. And I believe in the season series, they beat the Thunder in the season series. Something to look out for, right? So, the winner of the NBA Coach of the Year for Darkwing Dub is J.B. Bickerstaff. That is right. J.B. Bickerstaff earned that. Like the Pistons were a piss poor team for the longest time. Monty Williams kind of had them going in the right direction, but couldn't quite get over the hump by making the playoffs. And then boom, J.B. Bickerstaff comes in. They make the playoffs last year, and this year they finished as number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. That's why J.B. Bickerstaff is my NBA Coach of the Year.
Flawless victory.
Yes, it is. It is. Next, we have Clutch Player of the Year. So with that, we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We have Jamal Murray. And we have Tyrese Maxey. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is always going to be in there. Former MVP, possible MVP this year too. Jamal Murray. I mean, where are the Nuggets without Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic? Right? Tyrese Maxey. The 76ers aren't nothing without Tyrese Maxey. Nothing. Without Tyrese Maxey, like Joel Embiid hardly played. Paul George is up and down. VJ Edgecombe is still a rookie. So all the pressure was on Tyrese Maxey to carry the 76ers team. Got him into the play-in. At some point, you do have to think about moving on from Joel Embiid. The process is over with. You either move on from Joel Embiid or you're going to live and die by Joel Embiid, right? Jamal Murray, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Hey, the only player that I was surprised to not be part of that is Jalen Brunson, who won it, I believe, last season too. It's Jalen Brunson. But he's not part of it this year, even though the Knicks, I believe, finished 4th. Correct me if I'm wrong, 4th. We'll see in a little bit because I'll put it up there. So without further ado, the winner for Clutch Player of the Year is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA. SGA, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Thunder was still decent without him, without J-Dub majority of the season too. But when this guy is on, he's on. He broke Michael Jordan's record for most 20-point games in consecutive. Like, it gets no more clutch than that, bro. That's all I'm going to say. It gets no more clutch than that. This dude came through in the clutch all the time for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Win, lose, or draw, you can always count on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And that's why he's my Clutch Player of the Year.
Flawless victory.
Yes, sir. Next, we have NBA Sixth Man of the Year award. Starting with Keldon Johnson from the San Antonio Spurs. Listen, we know about Victor Wembanyama. We know about Stephon Castle. We know about De'Aaron Fox. But Keldon Johnson gave them some firepower coming off that bench. Who else do you really know coming off that bench for the San Antonio Spurs? Keldon Johnson. On top of that, they're number 2 in the West. I know I already stated that, but they're number 2 in the West. So he definitely belongs on there, right? Number 2, Jaime Jaquez Jr. I mean, I didn't really see much of the Heat this year. I'll be honest with you. But Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero is out for a lot of the year. Who else do you have? Jaime Jaquez Jr., right? And then Tim Hardaway. We thought his career was over when the Mavericks traded him to Detroit. He went to Detroit because that's typically a career killer. But he got out of Detroit, landed in Denver to play alongside Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, Cam Johnson. So, I mean, coming off the bench is pretty much what he should have been doing even when he was in Dallas. The time that he did come off the bench for Dallas, he put up great numbers, put up good numbers for the Mavericks. Went to Detroit. I don't think he really cared to be in Detroit, but rejuvenated himself in Denver, right? How can you not? You got Jokic passing you the ball. You got Jamal Murray passing you the ball. You got Cam Johnson, like Christian Brown. So, but without further ado, the winner of the NBA Sixth Man of the Year goes to none other than Keldon Johnson of the San Antonio Spurs. That's right, people. That's right. Keldon Johnson played a huge part in San Antonio being where they are. Yes, Victor Wembanyama. Yes, De'Aaron Fox. Yes, Stephon Castle. But you have to have a bench to go along with it. And Keldon Johnson was a big part of that bench. So I think it's only fitting that the number 2 team in the league also has the Sixth Man of the Year award, maybe the MVP, maybe Defensive Player of the Year too. Guess we'll find out. Next on the docket, we have NBA Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year, man. This is probably going to be this one in the MVP is probably going to be the closest of all the awards. I think this one's really going to come down to 2. VJ Edgecombe had a good year for a rookie, but the first 2 they balled out. Balled out. Con Knipple has the 3-pointers made record. Cooper Flagg broke just about every other rookie record there is. Con Knipple is on a team that made the playoffs. I agree with Jason Kidd said. Jason Kidd said Con Knipple, not to take anything away from him, has had a great season, but he's just a piece of the puzzle, whereas Cooper Flagg is the puzzle. And even with all the defenses veering down on Cooper Flagg, he was still to put up a 50 piece on the Orlando Magic, and then turned around and put a 45 piece on LeBron's head. Ugh. But Con Knipple's Charlotte Hornets made the playoffs. And as we saw the other night, they are the 7th seed. So if this is my award, you know anything about me, this might come off as a bit of a homer pick, but to me, it's easy. This is an easy one for me. The winner of the NBA Rookie of the Year is Cooper Flagg. This is too easy. Honestly, it really is. Not taking anything away from Con Knipple. Not taking anything away from VJ Edgecombe. But the numbers that were put up this year by Cooper Flagg, literally the only thing Con Knipple beat Cooper Flagg in terms of stats was 3-point shooting. Other than that, everything else belongs to Cooper Flagg. Only rookie outside of Michael Jordan to put up multiple 40-point games. LeBron James didn't even do that. Tim Duncan didn't even do that. This guy came in as a 19-year-old and put up multiple 40-point games, including a 50-burger. No, the team didn't win a lot. But next year, we're expecting something totally different. Kyrie Irving will be back to play along with him. That way he's not the primary ball handler. You're going to have Ryan Nembhard to back up Kyrie. Maybe we can draft Darren Peterson to be the starting shooting guard. You got Cooper Flagg playing the 3. We'll still have PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, and Derek Lively will be back. Klay Thompson will probably be the 6th man coming off the bench. Like, we're going to expect at least to play in. At least, the very least, we're going to expect to play in from the Mavericks next year. And I would love to see who they hire as their new GM. The GM is going to play a big part on what we see from the Mavericks next year. I believe you have to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at Bob Myers. I don't think he'll do it. It's a stretch. I get it, everybody. It's a stretch to bring in Bob Myers. I understand it, but you have to at least try. You never know. You have to at least try. So, but as of right now, my NBA Rookie of the Year is none other than Cooper Flagg. Next on the docket, we have the NBA Defensive Player of the Year. This is probably one of the more easier picks Victor Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren, and I always have a hard time saying his name, so I'll just say A. Thompson from the Pistons. Victor Wembanyama led the league in blocks. Chet Holmgren, I'll be honest with you, I think Chet Holmgren's overrated. He's only good because he plays with J-Dub and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's another topic for another day. But I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I think the blowout winner, the person that just ran away with this award is none other than Victor Wembanyama.
Sensational.
It is the easiest one to make, the easiest pick to make, and it gets no easier than that, right? So give me 1 second. My apologies. But yes, Victor Wembanyama is probably the easiest winner of this. I mean, I've seen some reports of people trying to throw Rudy Gobert in there, and I'm like, nah. This is easily Victor Wembanyama. Last but not least, hey, this is another hard one. This is going to be a very, very, very close race. But the candidates for NBA MVP, yeah, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder, last year's winner. We got Victor Wembanyama, deservedly so, the number 2 team in the West. Nikola Vucevic. My apologies. Woo! Nikola Jokic, second straight year of averaging a triple-double. Luka Doncic led the league in scoring. Until he got hurt. And then Jaylen Brown, what can you say? This dude carried the Celtics all year long until Jason Tatum came back. Yes, he absolutely deserves to be in that. So I think my winner is, it's so close. Because I can tell you, it's out of Jokic, Wembanyama, and Alexander, right? I think, to me, I just say it. My winner of the MVP goes to none other than Joker, Nikola Jokic. And I'm doing it because it's kind of hard for a center of all positions to average a triple-double. We saw Westbrook do it as a point guard for 2-3 straight seasons. Jokic has done it for 2 seasons in a row as a center. You cannot tell me that Joker does not deserve the MVP. Now, do I think the NBA itself will give Joker the MVP? No. I think it's trending towards SGA. But here's the thing. You're averaging a triple-double as a center. Like, who else can you give it to? And why give it to somebody else like that? There's no way that anybody else deserves it over Joker. And that's why Darkwing Dove is choosing Nikola Jokic as the NBA MVP. And there you have it, folks. There you have it. That is the awards for 25-26 season. Like I said, I believe the 2 hardest ones to pick from would be the Rookie of the Year and the MVP. Ultimately, I chose my boy, Cooper Flagg, and this guy next to me, Joker, Nikola Jokic. It could go either way. It can. Now, on to the NBA playoffs, where we got, as the number 1 seeds on each side, the Oklahoma City Thunder on the West and the Detroit Pistons in the East. Ultimately, I think the Thunder will put out the 8 seed easily. The Pistons will put out the 8 seed with fairly ease, with especially Kate Cunningham being back. We saw the Blazers take the 7 seed, so they'll get the Spurs. I think the Spurs take care of them. We saw the Hornets get the 7 seed, the Celtics will take care of them. I think the most compelling matchup in the first round of playoffs will be the Knicks and the Hawks. The Hawks have proven to be a thorn in the Knicks' side. And since they're playing a lot better basketball without Trae Young, I don't know. That's why it's the most compelling, right? And then on the West, it's got to be the Lakers and the Rockets. Is Luka Doncic going to be healthy? Is Kevin Durant going to show out? What is LeBron James at the ripe age of 41 years old? What is he going to show? I don't know. I don't think either team makes it far, though. Ultimately, I think it comes down to the Thunder versus the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. And I think it comes down to the Pistons and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. And in the NBA Finals, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Boston Celtics. I think this is the matchup that everybody was looking to see last year that we didn't get to see. And I think with a healthy Jason Tatum, we get that matchup this year. Question about Oklahoma City is J-Dub. Is J-Dub going to be healthy? Is Nikola Vucevic going to be able to show something to help the Celtics get there? If everything lines up correctly, we get the Thunder versus the Celtics. And I think it's going to go all 7 like it did last year with the Pacers and the Thunder. And the winner, Darkwing has the winner of this year's NBA championship going to none other than the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics win their record 19th NBA championship this season. As long as Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum stay healthy. You know what you're going to get from Derek White. You know what you're going to get from Peyton Pritchard. Ultimately, the Celtics win another championship. The Thunder are going to push them because they're last year's winner. They're going to push and push and push and push and push and push and push. Ultimately, I think the Celtics just are too much. It's going to be a defensive battle. It's going to be an offensive battle. It's going to go back and forth. I think the Thunder will have home court advantage. I think the Thunder will win both of them at home. I think the Celtics will go back to Boston and win both of them, or I think they'll win 2 at home. The Thunder still won in the third game in Boston. Boston will go back and steal games 6 and 7 from the Thunder. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is No Cap's NBA postseason award show. Hey, this is all fun. I'm ready for all this to go down. I love this time of the year. We just had March Madness. Now we're getting the NBA postseason. The NFL draft is right around the corner. Baseball season is in full effect. Boxing has a big month ahead. Hey, what a great time for sports. What a great time to be alive. WrestleMania is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday on ESPN. What a great time to be alive, everybody. What a great, great, great time to be alive.
He's on fire!
We're on fire. The sports world is on fire for all of this going on. And with that being said, y'all please like and subscribe to everything down here, including Facebook. I don't have Facebook on there, but Facebook, we're live in effect on Facebook. Also, look for @DarkwingDub on Facebook, @DarkwingDub on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can find the Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle podcast on Spotify, where I drop my audio side of all this. It comes on Apple Podcasts. Just and we everywhere. Y'all also tune in for the Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle podcast, where we talk about pro wrestling. Hey, y'all go check out my boy Boris Wrestling Media. Yes. And until next time, your boy Darkwing Dub is out. Salute.